Hello, hippie, how you doing? Welcome to the festivities. That's the wrong one. Goes in there. This can put away over here. You go down there. Whoops. Stuff falling over the place. All right. Wait a few minutes, let some people join in here. Okay, go put it in the bathroom. Not right now. Dad's here. Mecca, how you doing? All right, guys. Well, tonight we're going to go ahead and do pressure advanced tuning in Klipper. So if you're unfamiliar, what I did on Monday was the input shaper, and that is how you get rid of ringing in Klipper. And tonight I want to work on pressure advance. Now, what this is going to do is, let me pull my camera up here so you guys can see it. So you can see right here, let's zoom out a little bit. Did these two prints so far. Turn this down. There we go. So these are two test prints that I did. Sadly, I don't have any more of this gold filament, but that's okay. And you can see all of the bulging around the sides here. And actually, I can actually feel it as well. You can really see it and feel it. This is all because pressure advance is not tuned. And when you're printing fast, it doesn't know, I guess when you're printing at all, really, is that you're going to have these bulges on the edge of your print. And it's very pronounced right now because, again, pressure advance is not tuned at all. What we're going to do tonight is hopefully get rid of this. I have another filament loaded in here. Thank you, dear. I have a silver, like almost very shiny, that's going to help out. And that's going to help us to show all of this. But again, you can see it right now. You can really see that. Hopefully, we'll get much more even extrusion once we get this tuned in. So, who else we got here? We got Derek here. Aaron's made it. MJ. Mecca, good. I'm glad the configs help. And again, if anybody is asking for my configs, I have the link down below to my GitHub, which has links for all the machines that I'm currently running Klipper on. I will be adding more machines to Klipper. Actually, probably tomorrow night, we might do the Mark III's clone with Klipper and a Pi Zero. So if you're interested in that, maybe tune in tomorrow night. I have probably 2 or 3 other builds that I'm going to be converting over as well, kind of making my farm very complete. And I'm really enjoying that so far. So, hey, Jim, thank you, buddy. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and switch to my screen here. So you can see this is fluid. So we're on Bumblebee. That is the BLV MGN Cube that we're working on right now. And we're going right here to pressure advanced tuning. And again, if you're interested in the link for this, so you can tune your own printer, there's a link down below on how to do this. So we are going to have to do some changes. So for tuning, we have to empty input shaper. So we're going to go ahead and go to Bumblebee, printer config, down to input shaper. And all we're going to do is we are going to put a £sign in front of that, just like that. And that is going to have input shaper not be in effect. So we can save and restart that and continue on. So then we have to do, assuming you have sliced the ringing model with selected parameters, increase max accel and max accel to decel to 7,000. So we still need to do that. So go into our printer config. I think mine's set to 4,000 after doing input shaper. Yeah, so we're going to change max accel to 7,000, accel to decel to 7,000. Save and restart. And then we're going to need to open up a new instance of Prusa Slicer. And if we go in here, So it's restart, pressure advance to 0, set input shaper to these, and then the tuning tower command is what we're going to do. Okay, so, oh, here. That's what I wanted. So I was looking at the wrong thing. I need to put that back in. I was looking at that. I was like, that's weird. I didn't remember I had to turn that off. Turn that back on. There we go. So that was wrong of me. So here, tuning pressure advance. Yeah, the tower. I already have the tower. I just need to load it in. Should be right here. So squared tower is what we need. We are on the BLV. That's what we need there. And then let's take a look at our settings need to be. So we need a high speed. We'll do 100 millimeters, 0 infill, and a coarse layer height, 75% of the nozzle. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to push slicer. We're going to go ahead and do we'll do 0.4 millimeter layer height. That's fine. We'll do that. We need infill to be nothing. Let's see here. Next up, we need to set our speed. And we're going to let's go here to speed. We're just going to crank it. Do 100 for everything. Filament cooling. We're going to uncheck auto cooling. We're going to set this to max 100% cooling because we're doing PLA. Make sure that stays like that. One perimeter. Let's see what else we need to change in here. High speed, coarse layer height. Make sure any dynamic selection control is disabled. So, what was last time I did this with Kennedy. So let's make sure do. Check everything here. We're gonna do 220 on this, just because we're gonna be going pretty fast. We'll warm it up a little bit. Hey, Viking, how you doing? And that should be it for this. See, it's a 17-minute print. It's fast. It's real fast. Just make sure we did this. Okay, so prepare for the test. We're going to go here to the dashboard. Let's go ahead, put that in. All right, and then we're doing for this command, slower through corners, emphasize fixed pressure, command. So we're doing it at this one here because this is for the direct drives. And then if you have a Bowden tube, you're going to run on this here. Don't forget disable min layer time. Did I not do that? I'm not seeing the mid-layer time. Machine limits. No. Where is that at in Precisizer? Because I'd never mess with that setting. Filament cooling. Yeah, there's nothing here for minimum layer time. This is all grayed out because I have auto cooling off. Yeah, so I can't change any of that. So that shouldn't be a factor because if I turn auto cooling on, it's a thing. But Kenny told me to turn auto cooling off and just blast the fan, and we're good to go. So that should be it, I think. Double check here. We set that. Then print the object. When it's fully printed, it'll look like that. Okay. So we'll go here. We're going to send it. And we're going to wait. Yeah, Mech. So whenever you do the, I didn't realize it because again, Kennedy told me to uncheck the auto cooling for when you're doing these tests because you just want to dump as much cooling as you can on it to ensure you get those really good lines, especially because we're going so fast. We're doing 100 milliliters a second across the board, so it's going to move. And yeah. So I have been working with Adam, who I don't know if he's going to be in here tonight, but he is helping me with the NeoPixels. So we got these kind of working right now. He's working on some like super stellar type of scripting to do, which is going to be fantastic. So this will be a lot better than it is now. It heats up and everything when you do the settings, but when you start a print, it doesn't actually change the LEDs until the print actually starts. So you don't see it heating up on the LEDs right now, which is kind of a bummer, but it's kind of a limitation of Klipper and RGB LEDs. Either that or we're both doing it wrong, but he and I were talking about it for quite a while over the past few days. We've been working on it. And then what will eventually go on here, I actually just got it today from Ryan. He sent me his, he had a BL Touch 3 or 3.1 that he was not using, an actual Antclads one, an original. So he sent me that. That is going to end up going on here because right now there's this like random 3D touch that some AliExpress vendor like threw in my box, and I had it, so it's working right now. But I'm going to swap that out with an original one. Do we have to set acceleration to 500 and speed 100, or do we set it to our target printing speed? No, Mech. I think you want to go it for like as fast as you can. If your printer can do 100 milliliters a second, I think they want you to do that. What we're trying to do is we're trying to force the issue of pressure in this. Just like when we do input shaper, you're trying to force ringing. That's why we're doing it at 100 millimeters a second. You really want to show the ringing so that you can reduce it as much as possible. So that is why it's such a big difference, because even this one at 100 millimeters a second, you can see the differences down here where it's only, the acceleration is only going about 4,000. We hit about 4,500 to 5,000 right about here in the middle. And that's where you really start to see at the top, it's 7,000. And this is before any type of tuning. But yeah, we're maxing it out on purpose. From what I can tell from this, I could be totally wrong, but from what Kennedy told me and from what I read, this is, again, we're trying to force it to show us the deviations so that we can make our calculation from there. Because down here, once we go to here, so expect to print using calipers and the height of the best quality corners and then we're going to do the math for it. Oh, thank you, Viking, for the 40 knocks. I don't know what that is, but I appreciate it. Just takes a second for this bed to heat up because it is a big honking bed. And it's a DC heated bed as well because I don't like AC heated beds because they're also limited to a single voltage, and that doesn't work out for me. I have an older PETG print in here. At a slower speed, PETG looks really good with Klipper. But once you start getting up there, you really got to tune it in. And I don't need this. Again, I'm doing this test 100 meters a second. I won't go above probably 70 or 80 because I don't need it to go that fast. But it's definitely, the possibility is there when you have such a robust machine like this and it's built like a tank. You really can do it. And I just did this print, which was kind of giving me a little bit of bugger because it was coming off the plate. So I have the handle now printed for the Xbox 360 Connect. So I'm using this for 3D scanning that I'm trying out. I'll probably do a video about it eventually, but right now I'm just kind of messing with it. My kids think it's super awesome. I think it's awesome too, but we're kind of just messing around doing some scans. I only started one the other day and then the laptop died, but yeah, I mean the print quality on this guy came out great. I mean, this is, granted, this is a simple circular print pretty much. You can see the overhang suffer just a little bit there, but this is 0.36 layer height using this silver film I'm about to use right now. This is Uncle Jesse gunmetal silver PLA. And yeah, I mean, it turned out really well. I'm happy with it. It's nice and smooth. Z-seam is on the back, which makes it easy. But yeah, now I have a nice handle for doing 3D scans. And Aaron, I know you said that the real deal is more consistent. I'll be interested because so far I'm honestly surprised at how consistent this has been. I'm getting like really, really down to the wire here. 1.306, 1.303. I mean, we're in hundredths of a millimeter when it's doing the different probes, which is more than accurate enough for a 3D printer. When we're in the hundredths, if not thousandths of a millimeter. I might have, Aaron. Again, it literally randomly came in a AliExpress order early in 2020. I think I got it, or maybe it might have been late 2019. I got it, and it just went to a bin and kind of never thought about it again. I actually got it from a friend. He doesn't use it anymore, so I asked if I could have it to play with scanning. The only thing you have to buy is you have to buy the PC connector adapter, which is the Xbox 360 connector to USB and a power cord. That's what powers the whole thing off just wall power. Hey, my print finished. I've got all the parts for Optimus Prime printing out. Let this cool before but these are, I'm printing most of them on the Mini, actually. I printed a few full plates. If you guys are watching the Discord, I have a few full plates that have been printed on the Mark 3S. But for some of the onesie-twosie parts, I want to make sure that are real nice and clean. I'm doing them on the Mini. I'm having problems with one part of the Hermera hot end. That it just likes to peel up, the one back side of it. It's in the trash now. I've printed it twice on plates. This time I'm just going to glue it down because it's killing me here. One of the perfect ones in the trash. Nice. Just going to verify that my First layer here is good. I think it's going to end up being a little bit too close. That's what it was the last time I did a test print. Almost the temperature. Hey, Adam, we're just getting started, buddy. Just getting started here. Temperature right now. I might do PID tuning again on this. It overshoots a little more than I would like it to, but I just don't know if that's a Klipper thing. Hey, Darren, how you doing? We are a smidge too close. You can see my LEDs all turned on now. Looks like my hacky thing kind of works, sort of works for the LEDs. The new version should work 10 better once you get the new. Very cool, Adam. Again, so Adam is the one that's helping me trying to get these NeoPixels working. And as you saw, they all lit up once the print actually started. That is the current issue that we're kind of having right now, is that it doesn't want to work while it's heating. I don't know why it's not updating. It updates and everything while it's printing, and it updates if you tell it to heat up. Just if in fluid, if I tell heat the hot end to 220, this will light up as appropriately. It is still extremely bright for camera, but I have it down to 50%, and I think I might take it down a little bit more, or maybe take these off and put some type of diffusion in there. Now we're going to bring on the speed. Whoa, we zoomed in a little much there. So we're requesting 100 millimeters a second right now is what we're hopefully going to print at. So yeah, while this goes, if anybody has any questions on the printer or Klipper, anything like that, please ask. There are some Klipper gurus in the chat as well that I'm sure will tune in for anything that I say incorrectly. Fluid's telling me 100. It's because the M109 or whatever sets and waits for the heat, it can't run any G code. The Klipper could run more than one G code at once. Seems like it can't. Ah, I see what you mean, Adam. Because in the whoa. All right, all right. Right now, working on the Pythoning service, co-LEDs, Rapid Pi via. Oh yeah. Because if I look here at my start G code, it's all the NeoPixel stuff. So print start. So looking here, this is all I do is do print start in First Slicer. That's all it needs to know. So yeah, it does the M104. It takes the hot end to 155, and then M190 tells the bed to heat up. Again, it doesn't start until I get all the way down to here, the M117 printing. Once it goes and does this, that is when the LED, this will actually update them. So I don't know if I should add this update LEDs periodic in front of this here and see if that works. I don't know if it will or not. Because I don't know if I put it in Prusa Slicer or not. I did not. So I thought about maybe putting it at the beginning of the print start G code and see if maybe that helps it. I don't know. Maybe worth a shot. We tried it up here, right here, and that did not work at all. So I'm kind of wondering, I might do it now just so the next time I start it, we can see if it actually will work. Well, I wait to see it, Adam, because I think it will be super cool. Where are we at here? That's what I want. We got dual 50-15 fans on this, is busting this sucker with air, so it is definitely getting cooled appropriately. Hey Dan, how you doing? Oh. All right, let's see how this looks. Part's good. This part's good. This one turned out good. Part pulling fan looks good. So Megatron is getting a Chimera. This is so tiny. Oh my god. No, it broke. Of course it would. Oh, you can't even see it, Aaron. I put the Transformers logo on the front of this, and you cannot see it at all. Like, you can vaguely see it, like a hint of it, but not really. So I'm just going to take that off because clearly the amount of squish I have means really nothing for that guy. But it did work on the actual body of the extruder. The Transformers logo that I made for Optimus Prime does work. Red parts I need to print. Working on a hot end. What'd you get, Dan? I am happy with the extruder body so far. Export a few more parts here, seems like. So I need to export the fan cover. Save it as TL. Prime. Red parts. Is going to be the fan grill. Oh, Dragonfly. Very nice. And then hinge 2 and hinge 1. The other. Oh, I did print out the test of the LCD holder, and I'm waiting to print this because I don't have a ton of red left, and I want this to be red. I just printed this some random PLA that I had laying around to see if it fit, and everything fits really nicely. I think it looks good as well. So now I just need to wait for the LCD to come in, which I'm hoping will be in the next, 2-3 weeks, test fit it, make sure it fits in here well, and then go ahead and print this in red for Optimus. Cover I need to print. Oh, come on, Fusion. You're killing me, Smalls. To cap. I think that's it for red parts. Go back into here. Nope, need that one. Delete that, delete that, delete that, delete that, delete that. All right. That print's still doing all right over there. All right, well, our corners are peeling off, so we know that it is, can't get any better than this. So we're going to go ahead and pause it. And we're going to cancel the print. All right, so off. Take another way. Pull this off now. Okay. So, oh, hey, Brandon, how you doing? Aaron, I hate how fast you get stuff. You drive me crazy, man. Okay, so here is where I stopped it at. There we go. So we can see how our corners were starting to peel open. So that means we're beyond where we can be. So we're going to scroll this around, and pretty much right to like right here is where it looks good. So we're going to go ahead and set it to that. No, Mecca, this is a PVC type material from, what's it call it? Not E Streets. Do 8 mil. I think I linked it in one of the previous ones, but I'm not quite sure yet. But we're going to use 8 mil. So let's go back to here. And all right, so we're measuring from the very bottom, and we're going to have to do some math. So it is the start plus the measured height. So we're starting at 0 plus 8, easy day, times the factor, which is 0.005, because that's what we did, right? Yeah, we're doing 0.005 here. A calculator. And that would make it 0.04 for this, and I think it tells us what it should roughly be. Should be pretty low just because of we're direct drive. So now what we have to do is set pressure advanced in the extruder sections. Let's go over here to printer, printer config, to extruder, and then right here at the end, we're going to put pressure advance equals 0.04. And now we have pressure advance set. Save and restart. And what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and pre-print the 2020 foot that I printed. It's a very short print. We'll do this first, and then we'll do the MGN Cube real quick, and we'll see how it all turns out. I'm just going to tell this guy to go. Peel off this, and this. To my smiling face, and then there we go. So that should be that. It's a very quick and easy print. You can test it multiple times if you want, but I want to do it once and see how we go here. Oh, Mecca, really? I don't remember. I'm trying to remember what Kennedy told me. He's kind of one of my Klipper gurus. He's one of the Volron guys. Which they are trying their darndest to convert me. I'll tell you that right now. Wait for that. I'm going to... these prints go in here. Save this out. Okay, and then we're going to delete these ones. Pull this in. This. I love the G-code preview on the MIDI. God, it's so nice to see, like, to really confirm what I'm printing. Oh, Dan, you're running Fluid now. You're running Klipper. Very nice. Well, Michael, we'll see how this is before I change up the retraction. Retraction is rather high on this machine just because of the way it's set up and because it's a volcano. So we'll see. If I can lower the retraction, that'll be cool. Derek, I didn't, or I might have in a previous machine, but yes, this is a mellow BMG clone. And so far, it's working absolutely great. Oh, nice, Dan. You're doing a whole convert as well. I am up to currently 3 printers with Klipper on them. I am waiting for some Raspberry Pi 3s and 0s to come in because I'm going to put a 0 on Master Crane. I'm going to play with that a little bit. Definitely putting one on the Bear. And I have one coming for the new build, which is going to be called Hound. That's going to be green and carbon fiber black. But I ran out of carbon fiber before I could finish all the parts, which doesn't matter. I'm sending that printer ahead. That's going to be the first build I do once I move. But I'm just getting all the parts printed to make sure I have all of the things necessary to build it. I'm ordering them here and then shipping everything at once just because I don't want to worry about it coming in later there. because I want to be able to like open the box and just start building the machine. Oh wow, you poured a lot. So right now I'm at 2.75 millimeters on this, and again there is a piece. This is a semi-direct drive. There is a piece of Bowden right here between the extruder and the hot end that extends up, because the hot end ends like down here and it goes up. And again, just because it's a volcano with a 0.6 millimeter nozzle, do get a bit more oozing, so I have a little bit more retraction to kind of counteract the ooze. But now that I'm kind of getting everything tuned in, I definitely probably be able to do some more retraction testing and be able to maybe pull that down a little bit, because I do notice every now and then an area where the retraction is just a little too much, and I'm seeing gaps in certain parts, but it's also in some of the corners, which is not really where I'm seeing a lot of the retractions happening. But again, we'll see how that ends up going. Hey, Gunnar, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Yeah, check this height because I think it's going to be a little too low. Logged? There it goes. That's better. That first layer is going to be kind of junk, but that's okay. I'm treating like a pro. Gunnar, you kill me. Now, this print won't take too long. This is a 0.36 millimeter layer height at, I believe, 80 millimeters second. 60 to 80 is what most of the settings are set to, so it'll go by pretty quick. Like 60 is the infill. I know perimeters are 80. So I think this print did not take long at all. It says it was like what, 20 some minutes or 30 minutes maybe, but it ended up being in total, so not too bad. I'm interested to see how these corners and everything really look. And again, this is a very shiny filament, as you saw. I don't have any more of this gold. I wanted to compare it against the same, but I just ran out. I didn't realize it got so low. When you use a larger nozzle, even going from 0.4 to 0.6, you put down so much more plastic because your walls, 2 walls is 3 walls at a 0.4. So it's very interesting. You just end up going through filament so much faster. Like this spool back here does not stop spinning. Like it's constantly moving. Just my water for me now. There's low concentration of blood in her alcohol stream. Well, we do know Gunnar. I mean, Gunnar is our Icelandic person here. We do know that he likes to drink. That one side is curling a little bit because I accidentally pulled the first layer up a little too high. Be up to the first cavity on here now. Goes pretty quick. 0.8. I've tried 0.8 once. I could not get it tuned at all for the life of me. I feel like 0.8 was a little too big. 0.6 I've been happy with. So I have a 0.6 on here, and I have a 0.6. I've been running a 0.6 on the artillery for a long time now. Almost shortly after I got it, I put a 0.6 on there. That's worked out well. So far, this has been getting there. I mean, I had a little bit of bumps in the beginning, but I got it. And then Ultra Magnus has a 0.5 because I didn't have a 0.6. Oh yeah, the table is shaking. Yeah, table likes to rock and roll when this thing moves. Catching on that far corner, it might fail because I screwed up and pulled that up way too high. Kind of what I get for messing with the first layer. See if it rights itself or not. Derek, so you only need to use the accelerometer when you're tuning input shaper. You don't have to run it full time. And I did input shaper on Monday. So what the accelerometer does is it automatically kind of tunes it for you. I had to do it manually with this print and having to measure, and it's less accurate than using the accelerometer, which I actually just purchased one like 2 or 3 days ago. I bought one, so it'll be here in a week or two, and or 3 actually. I'm gonna run this again with the accelerometer on it, and all you have to do is just run a cable and attach it to your front of your hot end, run the test, and it calculates all of it for you. But it is not a like full-time thing, at least the way that I've seen it. Yes, Mega. These are printed handles. These are just standard handles off of Thingiverse or Prusa printers. Forget where I got them, but they're just regular old 2020 handles. I couldn't find any decent 2040 handles, so I just use these. They're easy prints. They print on their side. I just printed 2 of them, and makes it a lot easier to pick this thing up and down. I think Aaron actually has 4 handles on his. On his Voron. Sorry, he doesn't have a BLV. He has a Voron 1.8, I think. Yeah, Aaron says you take it off when you're done. That's kind of what I thought. But I have one coming because I'm doing all this manually, and it kind of just makes sense. As if I'm converting all of my custom builds to Klipper, I might as well get the accelerometer and get like that perfect input shaper setting. Because again, too high, it gets too blobby, too low, and it doesn't really affect it. You still have ghosting. So I figured it would be good to try out. Once that comes in, I'll do a live stream on installing that and figuring out how to use it. I know that Nero did a video on how to do it. We'll be following Nero's video because, he has all the information. Between him and Eddie, they have all the information you need when you're working with Klipper and Vorons. Got 28 minutes left on that SKR cover. Aaron, I have to send you that cover, because if you end up getting if you end up making like a Megatron or something like that, and you use that case that we designed, I recently designed in the Raspberry Pi to go in there, so it works out great. A 3 or 4 would fit. Oh, you got metal ones at Amazon. Oh, very cool. Hey, there's Jared. What's up, buddy? Geyer, how you doing? Hope I'm saying your name right. I'm horrible with that. They're planning on probing options with the accelerometer. Well, that'd be cool. It's just it's Klipper is just so much in testing and everything. So close enough. Appreciate you telling me at least I'm close enough. One place where you can also get the handles from Aaron is, I wonder if he still have it. So tech. So I used to do mods with this guy, and I've bought stuff from him. See if I can find it on here. Here they are. Let me show you this, Aaron. So check out these handles here. So these are machined aluminum handles, and they look fantastic. They're $30 a pop. You could do a black pair for $50, but man, they look so sweet. But you could mount this onto your 2020 extrusion with some M5s. But man, these handles, these are cream of the crop right here. So this is MNPC Tech. And again, if you guys are into computer modding, which I used to do for, instead of YouTube, I did computer modding. I bought stuff from him. He sent me stuff. I still use his mod ruler all the time. Are you down in Texas, Jared? Mega, these are, so yeah, they're $50, but they are custom, they are custom fabricated in shop. He doesn't buy Chinese stuff. This guy, he actually has a machinist that works for him that makes these things. So these are like, it's as custom as they come. Honestly, unless you have your own machine shop, they're as custom as they come. I thought he had some other ones that didn't have the Piccaninny rails on them. He used to have some, but I'm not seeing any more. This is also the place, Aaron, where I told you to get modders mesh for your computer. This is the place where I was talking about getting modders mesh. See how it's used in these computer cases? And then he's got just a round mesh here. It shows some of the different places he used it in his mods. I've bought his stuff as well for mods. I have experience with both the honeycomb and the round mesh. I've dealt with both of those before. Just look how good these look, man. Maybe if you guys keep using affiliate links, I'll buy a black pair for this sucker here. Jared's up in Missouri. Still cold there. I just know Texas got hit really hard because they don't know how to even comprehend snow. And they have zero ways to deal with it. I have some friends here that have family back home they've been checking up on and making sure everybody's okay and whatnot. Because again, they don't even know how to deal with snow down there. Yeah, so this is an interesting place in the model. It does this weird thing where it's doing some solid layers like mid in the print. And I don't know why it's doing that in these certain areas, unless it was modeled that way. But I don't think so, because Aaron made this. Back up into 30s today. Well, that's good. I'm going to pull that model in again real quick. Discard all that, discard all that. Let's go back to the BLV. Pull in blue parts, left foot, slice. Oh, wait, hang on a second. Let me rotate this. This is the 2020 foot, Aaron. Yeah, so it does this weird thing with some solid layers. And I don't quite understand it, okay? So right now, it's right here. See where right up here on this one side, it is putting in solid layers in here. And it's doing it over here as well. But it's not doing it to support anything. It's just putting in solid layers. And right here as well. In the middle, it's putting in purple, the solid layers there. And you go up and it's doing infill again. And if we go up a little bit further, okay, that's right here. Okay, that's bridging. Okay, fine. But, okay, right there is okay as well. But see, down low, and here it is again, on this left side, it's doing these solid layers for no reason. It's not doing it to support anything. It's just doing it because it's solid in there. And here it is again. Look at all this is solid. All this is solid. I don't know why it's solid, but it is. All the way up to the top, it's solid. Not a space for the minimum infill. Well, that is an excellent question. Minimum infill is set to infill set. The setting that I've never played with before. But I don't have that turned on. I don't see solid infill every so many layers. That's off. So that's not even a thing. But if it is the minimum infill, where is that at? But again, the solid infill every so many layers, that is 0. That is off. Yeah, I guess Jim is not hearing me when I've just said it's off. You get 40% and check the slicing. All right. Let's see. All solid up there still. All solid. Down here, it's all solid again. But this main part, you can easily see it. This whole top part is solid. Then don't do any infill. I'd rather do no infill than 100% because with 100%, I'm getting these weird. So when it's set to 100%, let's see if I can get this to focus on my hand. So on the previous print, back up a little bit. So you see where these wavy parts are? This is where it's 100% infill, and it's screwing with my print. In here is fine, but right here you can see those 100% sections, and it's screwing with the print. I don't want that. Because I know in Simplify 3D, of course you guys hate when I mention it, but it does have that setting of infill. No, it's grid, Jim. Let's try support cubic and see what happens. Oh, still 100% fill in there. Where is the minimum infill length setting in Prusa Slicer? Try normal cubic. Okay. Infill. Cubic. Still 100% in those sections. It's 2 perimeters. What's up, Mecca? Deactivate ensure vertical shell thickness. All right, where's that at? Ensure vertical shell thickness. Nope, still solid in there. Still there. That is the minimum area thing. I'm just gonna go through and like change like every setting on and off and see what happens. Infill, advanced, solid infill threshold area. So infill, advanced, solid infill threshold area. Okay. That's set to 70 millimeters squared. Should I like make that higher or lower? That's it. Make it lower. That's it right there. So let's go to 50 and see. Oh, change it to 0? Okay. Ooh, that's pretty low. Got rid of it. Holy hot dog. Thanks for figuring that out, Adam. A little more than halfway because we're getting to a much smaller part of the print now. We're right about here on the print. Yeah, we're right about here. So we've got about that much left to go. You are the man. I'll tell you that right now. You're the man for that one. I might need to do like a short video on like explaining that, because that was a pain. If you do YouTube, do that. I need to turn my fan on over there because I am starting to get pretty hot in here now with all these printers rolling, especially this guy pumping up the heat. And you can see down here, you see my green LED that is showing my time. I do need to rotate these because apparently I did not install them all the same direction like an idiot. Thought I did, but I didn't, so need to do that. I mean, I trust me, I get why Prusa has certain defaults in the slicer. I get it. But sometimes it's annoying like this. Although I can already tell you right now, having that pressure advance enabled on this is night and day. Absolutely night and day. And again, this is still a nice shiny filament, so we'll be able to see the differences in it. Excuse me. Now that I took this screen out, I liked it too. Find another printer to put that in. Yeah, here it is again right here. It's doing the solid layers on that part. Let me know how it goes, Adam, because again, I ordered mine and waiting for it to show up. Again, I'll probably use Nero's video as a guide on how to do it. So, it's a Big Tree Tech TFT 3.5 V3. This is what I had originally put here in the BLV, but then I went to the Duet and was running RepRap for a little while, and then learned about Klipper, and now I'm running Klipper on it. On the Duet, which is kind of a waste of the Duet, but I mean, whatever. It's a Duet clone. It's not an original. I probably would not run Klipper on an original Duet. That would be a serious waste of a Duet's potential. But yeah. Gonna connect your accelerometer to Arduino Pro Micro so that it can use a micro USB cable instead of plugging it into the Pi. Oh, very cool, Adam. Yeah, very true, Aaron, because, I mean, you can use your regular screens, but the amount of things you can change in them is pretty much nothing. But with Klipper screen, you can do a lot more from what I'm told. And again, I have two coming that I'm going to be testing out. One is a DPI connection, which is the ribbon cable. That's going to go on, that's for Raspberry Pi 3 or Raspberry Pi 4. I'm going to put that on Megatron to test out. Then I have a HDMI one coming, which is going to go on Ultra Magnus, and that one is specifically for the Pi Zero, so it can hook up into the HDMI port on the Klipper. Because I'm using UART on that to connect to the well, there's no screen DPI on there on the Pi Zero. There's only a camera, so you have to use HDMI on there. Plus, I'm using the UART pins, so that is one thing I'm learning, is that because I'm using UART connections on these, I do limit myself a little bit on what I can add on, but it's okay. Yeah, Aaron, definitely can, but you're going to have to wait a couple weeks for me. So if you get impatient, by all means, go ahead and test it out without me. But again, I ordered mine on Wednesday, so it'll probably be about the end of the month when I get it. Usually takes 2 to 3 weeks for me to get stuff. I just got Ryan's, I just got the the thing from Ryan. He sent this on. Actually, wasn't too bad. I mean, I don't know what day he sent it, but it got postmarked on January 22nd, and it arrived today on the 19th. So, I mean, just about 3 weeks is pretty standard. So, well, Gunnar, I didn't want to rip it out again and put the SKR back in. Plus, I can use the SKR for another build. So, I'm kind of happy that I have an extra SKR laying around now. But that's when we use the SKR in Optimus. Thunderstorms tomorrow. What else is new? 75% there almost. 83%. Almost done. Almost done. We can see how much. We're going to have to ignore those solid parts because that does look bad. We're doing solid infill in a very thin part of the print, and it does bulge out and look pretty crappy. Man, this fangirl looks pretty good, Aaron. Might need to change it up though because the way that the screw heads are going to be huge on it. I don't know how that's going to look. Might need to make the plastic around those holes a bit bigger. Big Tree Tech TFT 3.5. Maybe Gear. I don't know. I have the FISEC RGB running on Ultra Magnus right now, and a LDO 2004 standard screen on Megatron on the i3. I'm going to be replacing both of those with the Klipper touchscreens because apparently, again, you get more functionality out of them, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. I mean, but the other thing is that, like, so far, now that I've put Klipper on a bunch of these machines, I haven't touched the LCD on any of them for literally anything. I've done everything via the web. It's been really nice. It's been really nice to not have to do that. Oh, I actually just noticed there's a progress bar on the Duet screen. I didn't know that. There's a progress bar right here. That's pretty cool. Time left in the file, 3 minutes. The filament says it's 1 minute and 20 seconds. Layer. That's cool. I didn't know it had this green progress bar on there. That's pretty interesting. Never knew that. Well, Aaron, the other thing for you is I could see that your printers are in a different place. Mine are all right here. So me being lazy is one thing. I know I don't need the LED rings, Adam, but they are so bling bling. Like, so is having all these LEDs on here. Like, it looks so good. Like, check this. Like, let me actually adjust everything here. Hang on. If we zoom in, we adjust our exposure a little bit here. Like, the fact that you can, like, look how good that looks. Does this change anything? No. But there's like no lights on. And then here, it looks so good. You gotta RGB everything, man. RGB the world. Also, again, that gives this print a little bit of bling in the front. And Adam also graciously volunteered his time to help code for these. So I can't take them off now because like then he wouldn't have a project to do, and I would hate for somebody to like be bored. He can call it his COVID project. Yeah, so this top part also kind of looks pretty junk just because it's all solid. And this is why you don't print solid objects, kids. We're bored. Can I put ads in LED rings? As long as it is my logo, Adam, you absolutely can. You're in your third COVID project, Brandon? Was your first the basement? All right, guys, let's look and see what the difference is on here. We're going to put these back into the light. Let's pull the camera up here. And let's look at the difference in these. We're probably going to need to do this without the LEDs on because those are super bright. And let's see here. So looking just at the front, we can see how we have the bulging here on this front. That bulging right here is gone. You guys can see that all right? And then looking inside these corners, you can see all the extra, like almost ringing in there. But then in here, inside those corners, that's all gone now. On this corner right here, you see the bulge right there. On this one, that bulge is gone. This screwed up because I screwed the first layer. Ignore that part. But right here, that bulge is gone on this corner here. On this one here as well, that bulge is much less than what it is right here. So that's cool. On the side, this is a little more pronounced. Less bulging right here. So that's good. Back's fine just because it's the back side, but there's no real differences there. And again, the sides, you can see where those solid layers, these three sections here where it was solid, it really screws up your walls. So that's definitely no bueno. But I would call this a very, very good success. I mean, but almost look at the bridging in here. That's all bridged. There's nothing loose there at all on this. Even here. This is all bridging under here. Nothing loose in there at all. This is a sharp point. And nothing is loose in there. That is such awesome bridging. I think this is a real world showing you guys what pressure advance can do. I greatly disagree with linear advance, especially on a cheap machine. But pressure advance is a world of difference on a machine like this. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and queue up the Voleron Design Cube. I don't know if I'll wait for the whole print to finish, but I'm just going to hit print on it and let it run. But yeah, I think that is a very big success, and it shows everybody first off on how it is. Oh, Brandis, you did the Bear, Ultra Magnus, and now the SKR Bear. All right. I see you trying to catch up. Start, got to heat back up. Hey, look, this finished. A little bit of strings on it. But that's PDG for you. But here's that case I was talking about, Aaron. But I went ahead and added in the mounts and the spots for Raspberry Pi 3 or Pi 4. They both fit here. They have the same layout. Can fit in here. And all you got to do is, all you got to do is nothing. Bolt it in there with some short M3s, and you're off to the races. I did mean to chamfer those, but I forgot to. Just give them a little more meat to them. But we'll see if it breaks. If it breaks, I'll reprint it. But yeah, so this will be the door on my electronics scooters. I'll have my SKR here. We'll have the Raspberry Pi 3 here, and we're going to hook it up via UART to the Pi. So open it up, close it up, and it's all right there in the back. Active cooling right up here, 50mm fan, keeping it nice and cool. It's going to be fantastic. I was hoping it was going to fit, and when I pulled in the 3D model and started measuring, I was like, oh, this is going to work. So I'm excited. I'm very excited to see how it all looks when it's done, but it's gray. It's going to have red corners here. It's all blue mount for it, and it is the red Autobots logo for the grill, which that finished, but I'm doing the hinges right now on the Mini. So that's going to be awesome. I'm going to put a smidge of glue stick down now on this sheet and start this other bugger part that just doesn't want to print properly for me. Going to make getting it off a huge pain, but I need the part to stick. Oh, good idea, Aaron. A little bit of CA glue. I can try that out. Push slicer, not that one. That one. Here it is. So we're going to give this, slice this now. And see, the part that I'm having issues with is this right here keeps coming off the build plate. So I'm putting a little bit of glue stick down on it, and I'm hoping that that will help out. My Mark 3S is running Octoprint, so I can just hit the go button and forget about it because it's already good to go. And that is what actually in the Discord, if you guys remember, is there. What I'm printing, that is hooked up to the Octoprint running Octorant, and it pushes those pictures out. So Adam, yeah, there is Dustin, buddy of mine. He's in the Discord. We've been friends since college. We went to college together, and he did linear advance on the Ender 3, and he was like, "Why does it sound like my machine's gonna fall apart?" I'm like, "Dude, turn linear advance off." On a simple printer like that, linear advance is gonna do literally nothing for you, especially on a Bowden as well, because it has to move so much filament. It's really not going to do anything to make your prints better. On a direct drive, on like a custom build, a high speed build, linear advance might show you a little bit of benefit, a little bit. But I think pressure advance, I see way bigger differences with pressure advance than I ever do with linear advance. But that's just mine. I have linear advance fully tuned on the FT5, but that is going to be a very interesting 2022 project, I think. I talked to Eddie the other day. He has some newer files, but Eddie is the one that converted the FT5 into the FTV, which is was based off of a Voron 1.8, 1.6 at the time, but he has some newer files for it. So pressure advance work better on Bowdens as well. That is good to know, Adam. But I don't build Bowden printers. I lie because the Hypercube is, but aside from that, that is the only Bowden printer I've ever built. And yeah, I'm not saying pressure advance won't. I'm just saying linear advance is the one that just doesn't really work on that. Yeah, I find linear advance quite the pain to tune. I mean, because pressure advance is one print, let it print, measure, set the setting, you're done. With linear advance, you have to print and then hone it in, then print, hone it in, print, hone it in, and it's hard to stick to the bed because it's such a little bit of filament. Yeah, I don't like it. Well, the Volrun Legacy, yes, I am converting them. I am going to convert the Hypercube into a Volrun Legacy. That is the current plan. I'm still not convinced I'm going to reuse this carcass. I just don't know right now. Because again, I also said before, I built this thing wrong. I built this thing 90 degrees wrong way. Because I don't get my full Y. I don't get the full X, I should say. I get the full Y, but not the full X, because I built the machine completely wrong. I want to do, Aaron, I want to do a switch wire with the dual color Bowden that Nero did. I think that looked fantastic. And I think by the time I get around to doing it, there'll be a little more work on that machine. It'll be a little more tuned for when I build it. But I think that is definitely something that's going to be fun. Set like really fast for this for some reason. I don't know why. But the one thing I'm kind of curious about, Adam, you might know this. So if I want to put, so I've been doing Klipper with the fluid install straight up. I'm kind of curious if I use the Kluak plugin, do Octoprint and fluid on separate installs. Will Octoprint still be fully capable of doing things like Octolapse and Octorant if I'm controlling the print through fluid and not through Octoprint? That's the big question. Should be able to. Okay. Again, I wasn't 100% sure. It's something I might play around with. Obviously, it's not going to go on any of the printers that are running the 0, but for the ones that I run the Pi 3 and Pi 4s on, oh, Eddie's here. How you doing, Eddie? Yeah, that's my only kind of reluctance to install it any other way, because I know you can install Octoprint and then Klipper on top of that. But again, I just don't know how it interacts with the camera. It might be something I just need to test out. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure people. I've kind of noticed that I've been asking a lot of questions that not a lot of people have the answers to, which is fine, totally okay, because I feel like right now Klipper is cutting edge. What we're running at is like it's the tip of the spear, and it changes on a daily basis. So I definitely think it runs different. It's different to be that. So a lot of the questions I'm asking, I'm sure people have asked these questions or they figured it out. The information is just not out there shared yet. That's what I think. Trying to believe it won't work. Okay. If I increase the speed, does it speed? It should. I mean, let's see. Right now we're at 100%. Let's do 110%. 110 millimeters a second. Yep. Pretty instant. Go down to 80%. Yep. Slowed right down. Yeah, works pretty good. Mecca? Dan says, nightmare was getting Klipper fluid running on the easy board on the Ender 3. Ah, yes. I forgot you got the easy board on there. That'd be good, Dan. I mean, definitely get documentation out there because I love sharing, all the various things. And I gotta say, I've been pretty pretty lucky to have the community I do for helping out, because it's been truly helpful for me to learn this and be able to push the envelope of Klipper. I think I've kind of been doing that. Is it because you're running your drivers with SPI? I think they're automatically UART, I thought, the 2660s. Somebody can correct me on that, but there's no jumper settings in the Duet for SPI or UART. I think they're automatically in that configurations. Andrew said he ran Klipper with Octo Klipper and all the plugins worked. Then I switched to fluids on Pi Zero. So again, the only reason to run, in my opinion, as of right now, from my simple testing and my builds, the only reason to run a Pi 3 or Pi 4 is if you need a camera. If you don't need a camera, a Pi Zero works just fine. And again, that's what we're going to be running. I have my, what did I do with it? Oh, I put it up here. So I've already soldered in the pins and have everything ready to install a Pi Zero into the Mark III's clone into the NZ board. Which this does not have a camera hooked up to it. It doesn't have a Pi on it. The only one that I do the octolapse with is the Mark III's, the original. Can already see, or so we're going to see a big difference in this print. I'll tell you that right now. I guess we'll let this finish up. We've only been on an hour and a half. I mean, as you guys, we're an hour and a half. We're finishing up the third print technically because we did the pressure advanced press test print. Then we did a reprint of this foot, and now we're doing a reprint of the Voron cube. This is really quick and easy tuning. Klipper is much, much faster to tune. Mecca, so yours 22.9s and it doesn't change? I have 22.9s on Megatron. And I have no issues with that. But I have it because that is just when you put the pin on, the jumper on the SKR. So these are for 4988s. TMC for 22.9s. Yeah, so 22.9s, you don't need any jumpers in them. You just need, this is wrong, because this is, on the 22.9s, I don't have any jumpers on them, I don't think. You just need to have the This is Chris's video. Yeah, so right here, you don't need any jumpers on here. You just need to have this jumper on here. Did that like peel up again? You bugger. That freaking part peeled up again. When you get the sub $300 printers converted to Klipper. I'm all for that, Aaron. Again, I plan on doing the sub $130 printer on Klipper. Man, that's freaking hot. Oh, that's hot. It is hot, hot, hot. That little tab keeps freaking coming up. Glue stick is there in that right spot. Put a little bit more on. May end up putting on a different bed adhesive if it's going to keep acting up on me like this. Where's all my glue sticks at? Just had one that I used on this. Where it went? Print again. SK1 forward kept the jumpers on the side of the socket. Yeah, Eddie, for me, that's another one of the things that I can't really justify the cost difference as an SKR 1.4 over an SKR 1.3 because there's like not really much of a difference. And everyone says that the MOSFETs are better on the 1.3 than the 1.4. So I don't know, Aaron. Maybe you didn't sleep enough. You were too busy catching up after the power outage. Aaron, the part is lifting. Let me show you here. So this little guy right here is where it's lifting. So the only thing that I might do is we're going to do add a shape, cylinder, and do like the whole tab trick. So I want this to be 0.2 millimeters tall, 10 by 10, and then kind of just put it right there and slice them together. And then that would be the foot for it. That'll hold it down there. So maybe, all right, let me stop the print and I'll try that. I'm just surprised that Greg designed the part in this way that you'd have to modify his print because honestly, Greg's genius. Like, I don't really ever see having that kind of issue. Where am I at here? YouTube preview there was pretty far behind. I was like, what the heck? The 2 clones that ran okay. There's no trust in body. Oh, okay. Man, that is a marked difference on this cube. Put that right here. That shouldn't bump too much. Shouldn't bump at all. But check out the differences in these. Look at the bulging. Oh, actually, it's supposed to be this way. But you can see the bulging on the edges here. Don't focus on my hand. You can see the bulging on there. If you look at this one here, it's flipping perfect. Look at that. There's none of that kind of weird shapeage, the bulging on the outside of that front there. It looks great. Okay. Well, the Mini is just about done with those other parts. And this is about 3/4 of the way through. How are we at now? We are at, oh, that's Megatron. Back to Bumblebee. 74%. Almost done. Almost done. Oh yeah, this shiny gunmetal gray shows every defect in the print. I mean, it's the good and bad about the filament. Like, if you have your print dialed in, it looks fantastic. I showed you guys earlier the handle that I made for the Connect with this. It looks great. But when it looks bad, it looks bad. We're having a smidge of a cooling issue on the back side of this, but the thing is that this is being printed at 100 millimeters a second, pretty much across the board. I don't print this fast, so if it looks mostly decent here, once I lower the speeds down to their actual speeds, it will look way better. And that's kind of what we're going for here. It's 100 everything, Adam. This thing doesn't change. So right here, we are 100 for everything on this print. I wanted to do a extreme test with the gold here, and then I wanted to do it with the silver just to see on the extremes what is it. But it's 100 outers, it's 100 infill. I just saw it dropped to 55 there for a second, but thought I changed everything to 100 on this to try and really push it as much as I can. Again, it's still faster than I would ever print at. So I know some people out there are like looking for the meanest, fastest printer. I'm not. I'm looking for accurate, good prints. You know, my channel is not designed around the fastest things I can print because I don't have a Volron yet. Once I have a Volron, maybe we'll go that route. But for right now, I want nothing to do with that. All right, the Mini finished. A little bit of stringing on these little parts. Easy enough to fix. Let me let that plate cool down for a second. I'm gonna do my snips. Snip, snip, snips. 120 infill, 90 inner wall, and 60 outer wall. That's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I'll do once I get this tuned. The whole thing is that, I mean, this whole journey was building the machine, and then tuning Marlin, and then tuning RepRap firmware, now tuning Klipper. So I've kind of run the gambit on this machine. It would have been done 4 months ago if I wouldn't have changed boards twice and changed firmware 3 times. Stream, but that's okay. All right, Aaron, you ready for this? Come on, buddy. Come on. There we go. Here is Optimus Prime. It's the fan cover, and that's going to look like this on the printer. I think that's going to be nice. My only concern is the bolt heads are a little big on it. So see how big those look? I might need to make the plastic around these corners a little bit bigger, unless I use pan heads, which make me... I might need to go with the pan head, because that does look so much better. Pan head versus the socket cap head. But I might need to add some more plastic on it just to make it a little bit bigger there. I could if I wanted to do dual color, but I just didn't. But now, of course, you say that, you make me want to do it. Sometimes I don't like you. Would look pretty sick to have dual color there. But I think I'm going to add some more meat to these either way. Did you freaking peel up again? Oh, you're all kinds of peeling up. What in the world is going on here? What is this printer doing to me? Totally failed. I'll get that later. We'll start this other print here real quick, and then I will show you guys the results of the pressure advance on a fairly fast print. This is actually my last red part that I need to print. The PSU cap. Okay. So, all right, let's look at the differences here. So yeah, we can see the bulges on this side. Over here, they're gone. Turn to the Y side. Remarkable difference. We still have a little bit here, but I think it's just because of the angle of the print. Here you see it there a little. I mean, here you see it a lot. See it much less on this side. But in the actual lines there, it's gone. Around the Y, you can see the bulging on the Y. Around the Y here, it's totally gone there. There's still the cooling issue, because again, this was printed stupid fast. That's on the X. There's a very little plastic here in the corner, so that's kind of why that happened. But totally gone on the lines there. And the final side, again, pretty much totally gone. That's not too bad at all. The tops are fine. Extrusion's pretty fine on the tops. A little over extruded on the top there, a little too close, but I'm okay with that. But yeah, man, that is a fantastic difference. So awesome. So there is Pressure Advanced. Again, for anybody who was curious on how to tune it, that is the very quick and easy way to do it. Make sure my hinges fit in here okay. Bam, and it's gonna have those red hinges there. Oh, it looks so good. And this is gonna be blue. It's gonna look so good. So good. So I think I'll do now is probably gonna call it there for the night. Since I did what I wanted to do on stream, I'm gonna redesign this fan a little bit here later tonight, get in some fusion work, and that'll probably be my evening. So I think tomorrow night what I'll do is, if you guys want to watch me put Klipper on yet another machine, I'm gonna put Klipper on the Mark III's clone tomorrow night. Somebody asked me why I would do it. The thing is, I can't update the firmware on that printer. So any new Prusa updates that come out or anything that changes, I can't do because that machine is using a firmware that I got from someone else that I haven't heard back from her in a long time. I'm not sure if I'll reach out to her again, but I don't want to bug her to keep making new firmware for me. Because the Prusa firmware is quite the bear to handle, and that's why a lot of people are not doing it. Unless you're like a super firmware guru, which obviously I'm not, you know, kind of go from there. And I'll try to get that other print going on the gray there. But yeah, thank you everybody for hanging out. Thanks for the help tonight in the stream and getting this going. I do hope this helps somebody out who wants to figure it out. You can see, you can do the configuration, the testing, and then several test prints. I did this all in less than 2 hours. So you can definitely do this in an evening. Linear, do the input shaper one evening, then do your Pressure Advance another evening. I will take a look at the retraction and see if I can reduce that at all after doing this. We'll see how it goes. Thank you everybody for tuning in. If you guys want to check out any of the resources, they're all linked down below. While you're down there, if you guys want to support my channel, there's some links down there for donations or become a patron, or if you want to use any of the affiliate links down there. I use all the money that I get from all those different means to build cool machines like this. So I appreciate every one of you for helping me out, do these builds, and for hanging out with me tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow night, my Saturday night stream. Happy printing. Have a good night.